Hello, this is Tom with the Mortgage Room. I've been in the mortgage industry for a little over 20 years, and I look to make a complicated industry fairly simple through communication and, of course, through transparency. So with that, I am going to get started with some of the most commonly asked questions. What are the first things that I need to get together in order to get pre-approved? So that's what we're going to go through in this video. Here is what I call the needs list, or also known as a wish list. The first item is going to be your government issued picture ID. So we'll need a copy of your valid photo ID, driver's license, passport, any kind of valid state or federal identification. If you're a permanent resident alien or a foreign national, we'll need those identification cards as well. Second items are going to be your most current 2 consecutive pay stubs. If you're not a self-employed individual, then your 2 most consecutive or 3 most consecutive paycheck stubs will help, will work. If you're self-employed, then we're going to need to get your complete tax returns for the past 2 years. And if you're self-employed, we'll need to get the tax returns for the past 2 years for both your 1040 and 1120s. In other words, your business and your personal tax returns with all schedules and all K1s. The K1s, of course, are going to establish the percentage of ownership of the business. Bank statements for the past 2 months. These are going to be, excuse me, bank statements for funds that you're going to be using to help purchase the property for down payment or for closing fees. I'd like to have 2 consecutive months. This is going to verify that you have the funds available for the down payment and the closing. There's also other ways to acquire funds for closing fees, whether it be gift funds or family members that can help you with some of those items. We can go over that when we speak. Retirement accounts statements for the past 2 months or last quarterly statement. So even though we may not be using the funds in your retirement account, they do look good when you're applying for a mortgage. Any type of reserves or any type of ability to save money is a good thing. So we would use those statements to place on the application to show that, of course, you've got some reserves in the bank. Investment account statements, those 2 also help, again, for the same reason. It's good to show the ability to save money. Last 2-year W-2 and personal tax returns. So if you're a W-2 individual, meaning that your employer takes out taxes, and you get a W-2 at the end of every year, if I can get 2 consecutive years of your W-2s from the same employer, and the income is increasing, usually 9 times out of 10, I don't need your tax returns. However, I might ask you for them, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'll need them. And then if we do need to supply your tax returns for whatever reason, you might have a little business on the side and so on, that's when your tax returns will also come into play if you're a W-2'd, a wage earner or W-2'd individual. Okay, if you currently own any real estate, maybe you're doing a refinance or considering refinancing to a lower rate or to eliminate your private mortgage insurance, or maybe you're considering doing a cash out refinance to get some equity out of your property while rates are low so you can pay off some high interest rate credit cards. Either way, whatever other real estate that you own will need a mortgage account information for each existing mortgage, which translates to a most recent mortgage statement for all the properties that you have or that you own. The mortgage statement is going to show how much your mortgage payment is. It's also going to establish if that current mortgage is escrowed for your taxes and insurance. Keep in mind, taxes and insurance need to get paid, obviously, and your mortgage statement is going to verify whether your taxes and insurance are being escrowed in your monthly payment or if you're obligated to pay those separately. If you happen to have a home equity line of credit, we'll need that information as well. That will show us the terms of your home equity line of credit. Additional items that might be required depending on your individual circumstances: proof of child support. If you receive child support or alimony or child support, that would be good to show on the application to help get approved. So we'll need to see the divorce decree, again, which is the next thing, the copy of the divorce decree, which will explain the disbursements of the child support and or the alimony. Lease agreements for any rental properties that you own. If you have investment properties, they're most likely showing up on your tax returns. If you've recently acquired investment property and you have not filed your taxes for the year that you've acquired the property, but yet it's owned, then just a copy of the lease will show that the property is being leased, and that lease is going to help us offset the financial obligation for that property. A job transfer letter, if you're being transferred from one employer to another, or the same employer but a different location, of course, the transfer letter will certainly help. Copy of pension, award letters, social security letters, or fixed income verification. Pension award letters, again, if you receive a pension, that says how much you'll be receiving and for how long you'll be receiving it. Social Security award letter, those are those long 3 or 4 foldouts that you receive every year that shows how much your Social Security is going to be for the upcoming year, or any other fixed income verifications. If you receive military pay, anything as far as disability pay, things like that, military pay, those two verifications will help on your application. And then last but not least, copy of a short sale or foreclosure paperwork. So if you went through what was known as a housing event, which almost everybody experienced many years ago, a copy of that paperwork. If you had a short sale, there may be a copy of the settlement agreement that shows that property was short sold and no longer your financial obligation. So anything that you've experienced in a housing event, paperwork that would verify that, bankruptcy, your bankruptcy papers, your discharge papers, anything that you might have experienced in the past that will kind of show that those housing events are completed and no longer open or pending. So these are the items that are most requested at the time of application. Of course, everybody's different. Loans and mortgages are there. There's a lot of them. There's many to choose from. But of course, I try to get everybody's personal information in front of me and then find out which is the best mortgage that fits your needs. But hopefully this will help as far as getting the items together. When we first talk, these will be the items that we'll go over to help determine how much you can get pre-qualified for. And again, I'll be also looking to request your approval to get your credit report so we can go over other financing options as well. Anyways, this is the first of many videos I'll put together. I'm trying to keep the mortgage process very transparent and open, and feel free to Google my name, Tom, that's T-O-M, last name Benach, B-E-N-A-C-H, and read some of my previous reviews from our previous customers. Office is located in Delray Beach, and I've got an operations team there that's just on Atlantic Avenue in Congress. So have any questions, please feel free to call me. My cell phone number is 561-719-2135, listed right down here. Here's my office number. My loan partner, Carolina, will be happy to help you as well, or you can feel free to reach me on my cell phone at any time. Again, this is Tom with the Mortgage Firm. Look forward to working with you, and I'll see you at closing.